Welcome to Integrative U Radio, where we challenge everything conventional medicine forgot to tell you. I'm Dr. Nicole, joined by Dr. Nick, and this is the show for the black sheep families that look at life differently. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to open your eyes to new perspectives and new ways of thinking. Now, let's get into it.
Yeah. Feel that? The sound of possibility.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Integrative U Radio. So we are in the era of our new AI intellectual property combo platform that we've created. So essentially, for those of you that are new here, we took about 15 years of all of our experience and intellectual property that we have built, and instead of trying to download it onto humans, which we did for many, many years and didn't necessarily work out that great, we downloaded it into our own personalized and customized AI platform. So 90% of it is us and our brain, and the 10% is AI just making us sound cooler and formatting it because we have bad grammar.
Put it into a story that people can understand and not Dr. Nick's crazy brain physics and balance.
Literally, my God. Like, bring it down. So we, one of the things that was actually really interesting in the development of our new website was even, because we're using an AI platform to help us develop the site, and they kept getting confused when we were talking about DNA, like DNA testing, because one of our products is DNA Precision, which is like very, very, very hyper specific. And this is honestly something that's been completely reserved for our one-to-one private concierge clients. But, you know, we're like, if we really want to help people, we want to bring this to more people, more families. And it kept like creating these FAQs with 23andMe and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, stop it. It is not what we do. So I was like, okay, it's really worth it for us to get on a podcast and help people to really understand the difference, because there's a huge difference, number one. And number two, I think if you understand what it is and what it does, you're going to be like, holy shit, that's really fucking cool. But I want to lead with
about physics.
Yeah. One of the things I want to lead with, though, is our new programs. We have our foundation program, which is really someone looking to understand more what's going on at the foundation of their health, of their body and their mind, and get foundational solutions. And then we have our DNA Precision, which is more advanced, and you're going to really understand root causes that are not only driven by our entire proprietary process, but it's also based on your DNA. And we're not doing labs. We're not doing blood work. We're not doing urine testing. We're not doing any of that. It's still things that we do and we value, but it's reserved for our private concierge because obviously there's a lot of logistics to it. But what I want to say is that one of the reasons why we created these products is for accessibility and affordability. But third is because there are way too many fucking people that are getting labs done and they still have no idea what's going on. They have no idea why they feel like shit. They have no idea why they feel anxious. They have no idea what to do. So this is bridging the gap.
If you listen to our previous podcast, we don't trust anything. Nothing is 100% correct. So the more data you can collect, the least you have to be reliant on one format of information. So you can actually get like a deeper blend. We'll get into the physics of how this quote unquote DNA works. I'll kind of, put the whole circle together there. But it's pretty, the information you can get from DNA, the way we do it, literally just with everything else is mind blowing of
but
the results you can get.
Backpedaling, because people think DNA, genetics, genes, hence literally we were building the website and it kept talking about 23andMe. So let's be very clear. When you're doing genetic testing like 23andMe or Ancestry, this is looking for different, what they call SNPs or genetic patterns. And it's essentially telling you if you're fucking doomed or not. It's like, oh, well, you have the gene that's going to create a higher probability for cancer. You have a gene that's going to make you really sick if you ever come in contact with mold. You have a gene that is going to fuck up your hormones. Like, I understand that the information is valuable, but it's not how it works, because there is a thing called epigenetics, which essentially tells us that your genes will express differently based off of environment. So someone who generally has a clear mind, I don't want to say they're positive because that has its caveats, but they're not living in a place of fuck them, I hate them, and judge them, and like jealous and desire and anger and rage. They're a pretty like even-keeled person. Everyone's got their baggage. And, they tend to live a life where maybe they're not overly stressed. They're not killing themselves and burning the candle at both ends. And, they try to eat a bit healthy. They exercise. You're creating a healthier environment for your mind and your body. That is actually going to radically change your probability of getting sick, getting cancer, getting depression, despite what your 23andMe said.
Yeah, I mean, the easy way to think about it is somebody that's a growth mindset, even if they receive bad news, they're going to be like, okay, well,
how do I use it?
Is this accurate?
Yep.
Let's get more data, more information to see if it's all coherent information or if it's actually conflicting each other. That would be an intelligent first step. Let's gather more data. And then from that data, it's like based on what comes back, it's like, okay, well, now I have this. How can I best use that to serve myself? Because what I've done in the past brought me to this point. Now let's figure out if I want a different scenario moving forward and what those goals are, what's needed to change my state of being that allows me to be in alignment to achieve these goals.
Yeah.
That would be 100%. A growth mindset. A fixed mindset is, oh my God, this is me now. This is who I am.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna preface, there's no guilt and shame because I had about 17 fucking meltdowns in the process of creating all of this for you guys. And like I have gray hairs. Like it has been a
yes,
a journey.
but you didn't stay there.
I didn't stay there. See, that is the point.
Too long. Too long.
Maybe like middle of the day. I was like,
there might have been
give
one
me a gin drink. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Let's go, kids. We're going outside. Let's go. Come on, andiamo.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my gosh. So one of the things that I kept feeding to build our website out was DNA. This is what we are looking at. One, you have DNA in your hair. You have DNA in your fingernails. So what's cool is that it's a very easy way for us to get that sample from people because we process this in-house. This is not being processed externally. And the other important thing is we're not processing your hair for heavy metals and mineral deficiencies. That was the other thing that kept coming up was like, it's
not a medical processing system.
Yes, it's our proprietary system and we use a technology for it. But what we're looking at is, so I'm going to use a quick example before I dive in. I always tell people, because they're like, how does this work? This is crazy. Trust me, we've been in practice for a long time. We've heard it a million times. And I'm like, okay, if you go to the grocery store and they scan the barcode on your toothpaste, it's going to pop up as toothpaste. But if the barcode changed 2 digits, 1 digit, you could scan it and it could come up as broccoli. Completely different. So when you think of genetic or DNA code, the code can shift under stress. So when we are looking at the DNA from the hair or the nail sample, we are looking for just minor alterations in the DNA code that are representative of stress. And that stress could be inflammation, it could be blocked detox pathways, it could be a variety of things. The other really fascinating thing is we're looking for foreign DNA, which is, do you have parasites in your body? Do you have viruses in your system? Do you have bacteria in your system? Because they have their own set of DNA. And so when we're looking at this, we're looking at what organ systems are truly stressed and what are they stressed by? Are they stressed by toxic load? Are they stressed because there are physical blockages? If it's stones or gunk or calcium, scar tissue, or is it because there are certain pathogens that are there?
Well, how do you know that what it's being stressed by?
What do you mean?
Well, like how can you tell that it's a parasite versus it's a heavy metal?
Because of the code changes. So it's either showcasing that it's are you messing with me? It's either showcasing that it is inflammatory stress due to, this is actually fascinating, due to a pathogen, due to toxic load. It could also be due to emotional burden. You want to go into the physics and the science, don't you? Go ahead.
No, I'm great. No, it's just pretty amazing to, I share it not as simple as Dr. Nicole, because I like to talk about energy, but it's just like everything has a specific vibration to it.
Yes.
And the story I like to say is, I don't know if you've heard, but you can go on YouTube and whatever video site and type in opera singer shattering a crystal glass. And that's because that vibration is what we call resonance. So that everything that's vibrating is vibrating at a specific resonance. And when you match that resonance, it actually shatters the vibration. It collapses the vibration. It collapses the wavelength. So there's actually no more wavelength. So when you have an opera singer that matches the resonance of a specific crystal glass, the glass shatters because there's actually no more vibration in the glass, which is crazy. So the technology that we have goes through and just scans all these different possibilities until it's like, oh, I picked up this resonance, which is connected with this crystal glass or this toxicity or this vibration of grief or this vibration of fear, etc.
Hey, quick pause before we dive back in. If what we're talking about today is hitting home, if you've been told your labs are normal, but you know something's off, we built something for you. It's called the Health Decode. It's a deep dive assessment, not a quiz, not a symptom checker. It's the intake I wish every doctor started with. We look at what conventional medicine was never trained to find. Stress patterns, biological conflicts, the stuff hiding behind the normal blood work. You'll get a personalized wellness report back from our team. And here's the thing, if it clicks, if you read it and think, finally, someone actually gets it, that $47 becomes a credit toward our foundation program. So you're not spending twice just taking the first step. No pressure, no countdown timer. Just if you're tired of being told you're fine when you know you're not, head over to Integrative U Health and check out the Health Decode. Links in the show notes. All right, let's get back into it.
And then it compiles and sees like, okay, you can actually see based on the magnitude of that resonance, how much it's actually affecting the tissue of the liver, let's say. So then you could say, oh, wow, like this heavy metal has a really high magnitude that's affecting the liver resonance. Well, that's awesome. Like that just gave us crazy specific information without having to actually do any medical testing. And then we'll go through and we'll compound that of, okay, this is one aspect of information. Now, Now let's look at, let's look at your stools. Let's look at your different
Yeah.
detox pathways. Let's look at, brain fog. Let's look at pain points in the shoulder. And
But in all transparency, when we first got introduced to this technology and this concept, we didn't have high expectations. We're just like, yeah, okay, if it could be valuable, great. Because what led us to investigating, alternative testing data points was because we were seeing a lot of really, really scary inconsistencies in blood labs. And I told the story in the last, but we had blood work being ran twice for the same person, the same blood samples, and it was showing one was positive Lyme disease and the other was negative, and the lab had no answers for us. That's the high level of it. So we essentially were like, we need more data points. And when we started looking at this, we said, okay, if this could provide some value, great. But we're of course testing it on ourselves. And we're like, holy shit, like this is kind of wild. And then, you of course, you have that skeptical mind. You're like, is it right? Like, I don't know. Because then there's some shit you see and you're like, am I fucking okay? And then
okay.
we were using this technology for a decade in our practice, but we were always using with labs. So we would see something and then we would be like, let's test it in the labs and see if it comes up. Because sometimes, like I remember tuberculosis came up for a client. Like I don't run tuberculosis on the average patient. Like that is not a common disease. And it's also not even really thought to be common in the US. And I was like, I'm going to test it. It was fucking positive. And I was just like, holy shit. Like this person had like 7 autoimmune conditions, couldn't breathe, and had fucking tuberculosis. So like there were things like that I was just like, it's always right. It's always right. So we have complete trust in it. Of course, we don't expect everyone else to because you haven't seen what we've seen. But we want people to also know that there are other really reliable and easy to access data points that are helpful, because one of the reasons why we created everything that we've created is because so many people are getting blood labs and urine testing and even advanced testing that is like, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's going on.
Crazy. And it's crazy expensive.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the thing is like our DNA testing, when you work with us privately, it's always just included. And we use it. And even sometimes when people reach out, when we're working with them privately, they say, I'm sick. Like, can you scan my system and see what's going on? And we're like, yep, sure. No problem. We're like, oh, you got this going on in your sinuses and this, here, take this or do this. And it's really cool. So that actually brings us to the next point is that once we have the sample, we're actually able to reuse that sample for future testing because
What?
Yeah, we're going to really fuck with people now. They're just like, get the fuck out of here. You people are crazy. I wouldn't be saying this with this much confidence if I haven't seen it work a million times. I've actually been called a witch doctor, which I take as a compliment, because people that, they're like, I trust you. And a lot of people referred me. I don't know if I get it, but whatever. If you can help me, let's do it, because no one has helped me. And they've had, they come in for their reevaluation, because we always do reevaluations at 90 days because your body changes. That's the whole point of you doing things, is your body changes. And I'm running the test and I'm like, hey, is there something going on with your shoulder? Or, hey, how has this been? Have you been noticing, your left sinus is a little blocked? And they're like, what? And they're just like, who are you? And what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, yeah, do you want me to explain it? Or like, are we in full trust mode? And you're just going to let me roll with it and just like tell you what to do. And they're like, I don't even know if I can handle it. Just tell me what to do. So yeah,
so with the other 50% that are like curious, how do you explain that, 3 months ago, 9 months ago, 2 years ago, you don't have to actually have a new hair sample to be able to see current results like that?
I'm going to let you answer that because you had a great example with your resonance thing. So high level, Nick, high level.
The only constant is change. If for people that really want to understand in a layman way, do I have the book here? I don't. No, I don't. There is a book that was written in the 70s that's called The Life of Plants. And long story short, they started doing these tests on plants to see if they had emotions or not. And they hooked them up, it was very rudimentary back then, 70s. And they hooked them up to lie detector test just to see if they could get like impulses. Because that's really what lie detector does is, anytime that your autonomic nervous system is like, oh, I'm gonna lie, it has a spike of energy. Yeah. So they hooked these plants up with lie detector test and started doing things to them, acting and beating them, setting them on fire, giving them love, giving them presents.
I didn't read this book.
Water, pouring toxins as if they're going to kill them. And they got all these different types of, jumps on the machine. And then one of the head scientists took it up another notch. He was giving a lecture halfway around the world and was like, he created like a relationship with this one plant. And he's like, I'm going to talk to this plant and mark out the exact times when I do it, and then come back and see if that plant had a response at that exact moment or around that. And it was not even a second away. It was at the exact same moment that scientist started to have a conversation or thinking about this plant.
But they were separated.
Half of the world away.
Okay. Yes.
So that also proved that, it was faster than light. Which is mind-blowing to think about. Like, his thought traveled instantaneously. Thoughts are the expression of what changes the epigenetics. Thoughts are the environment. So Einstein talked about the particle is dictated by the expression of the field, the intelligence. That's what epigenetics proved is it's the quality of the information, the quality of our feeling around us actually dictates the expression of us, because it's either giving us a eustress, building us up, or it's a distress, breaking us down.
Yeah.
Which is happening instantaneously. Like there's no space-time. It's in the moment, which is still hard to believe. So anytime that you change every single moment, all your DNA is changing. Doesn't matter if the DNA is inside you or outside of you, because it's you. And all your DNA is instantaneously communicating with your environment, which is primarily what? The mind. The thought, the belief, the perception. So as you take in information, this is not to get into it, but it's like when you take supplements and you work on the body, you're really just giving your mind support, because energy flows first above down. It goes from the spirit to the mind to the body.
Well, it's also the intention of taking care of yourself. That's, I think, sometimes more powerful than the actual biochemical change from the supplement.
Well, placebo effect is always more powerful than anything when you look at the science behind it.
But intention is important.
So that's the layman terms is how I could probably easiest describe it is it's all just a transfer of thought. And just as long as your DNA is kept in an undamaged way, and you have all the DNA, the DNA in the strand of the hair and DNA actual in the root as well, you get all the information, and you can collect all the information through that quote unquote bioenergetic fingerprint.
So I'm going to leave you guys just with a quick story, and then we're going to wrap it up. But it's actually funny because one of our close friends here in Italy, she kept talking about very specific symptoms that she had. And I told her, we were just like very playful. And I was like, it's your gallbladder. And she's just like, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with my gallbladder. Like, no, it's not. And so, it was just like a playful dynamic. And it was just same thing. She would say something. I'm like, it's your fucking gallbladder. And of course, she did labs. Nothing going on liver, nothing going on gallbladder. And honestly, there's really not great blood labs for that anyway. Even ultrasounds, which is, looking visually at the gallbladder, it's not catching anything until the gallbladder has like massive blockages and stones. So gallbladder evaluation is going under the radar for a lot of people. So then finally we did the DNA test on her and I was like, it's your fucking gallbladder. And she's like, come on. She's like, really? And I was like, listen, okay, believe me or don't believe me. All you really need to do, based on what I can see, is you need to take soluble fiber and you need some biosalts. So I gave her 2 supplements that she actually ended up only taking the one, which was the fiber. I was like, take this at this dose. It's going to get your gallbladder moving. Because her primary thing was she thought she had like a rib fracture. And she's like, I think I have a fracture. They did an x-ray, nothing. That was when she finally let me do the DNA test. She's like, she was in so much pain. And they're like, there's nothing going on. Like musculoskeletally, there's nothing happening. And so she did the supplement. She cleaned up her diet a bit and all the pain went away. And then what was even more interesting, which is a huge aspect that we bring to all of our new programs, Foundation and DNA Precision, is the mental aspect. And so I gave her the very, very specific interpretation of when your gallbladder is blocked, what is the psychosomatic connection there? And she was just like, holy shit, that nailed it. So she was dealing with a physical issue that was connected to a very specific belief system and thought pattern from previous experiences. And so this pain she was having was an invitation to work on it and to resolve it and to release it. And so she had this beautiful combination of being able to understand the root cause of what was going on in her conscious and subconscious mind from past patterns. She was able to work on that. And then she was able to actually do the physical work through this supplementation, which was literally just soluble fiber. And those two together, it was like a couple days and the pain went away after being in pain for months. So it's really powerful.
People don't know why the supplement, one of the main supplements also is digestive bitters, because the emotional imbalance connected with gallbladder is
bitterness.
Bitterness. And so the app that we've created, of course, it has an AI exercise coach. It has your AI chef.
AI chef.
AI chef to help you.
Okay, really quick though.
But
the app and what we're talking about, they're together, but they are separate entities. So essentially, you do Foundation or your DNA Precision, you get all of your customized reports and it tells you exactly what to do, all of your solutions. And then your app is in your pocket, allowing you to bring all of your solutions and your self-growth and your new supplement regimen. It all comes to life in the app, just to be clear.
It's your 24/7 coach. It's like having us in your pocket, which is weird. I won't say that one again. But what I was trying to say is that going back to understanding like the thoughts, the epigenetics and everything, a big component of it is creating more of that, what Socrates talked about is know thyself. You can't have inner peace until you know thyself. And the body is really just giving us symptoms so that we can better know our belief patterns and our thought processing. And when we can get that awareness and use that awareness to make changes, to be more balanced, to change a belief, to be more empowering, that removes the bitterness in this circumstance, which took away the stress response, which allowed the actual splices in the DNA to change, which is why we can run another different scan and actually see changes within the gallbladder, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, 100%. All right, guys, we hope this was super insightful. If you have questions, definitely leave them below and we'll be happy to answer them. But we hope you get to experience it for yourself.
Thank you for being here with us today. Remember, this isn't about telling you what to think. It's about giving you something worth thinking about. If this episode shifted your perspective, share it with someone who needs it because they won't hear this in a waiting room. Subscribe, leave a review, and if you're ready to stop guessing and start transforming, head to integrativeyou.health. We'll see you next time. Stay curious, my black sheep.